Good morning children. Hope you are ready for today's class. Now the new lesson will start, that is about the reproduction in plants. Okay children. So already you have come across these different life processes that occur in the living organisms, isn't it? Like nutrition, respiration, isn't it? So now we'll move to the reproduction part, one of the life process that takes place in living things. So the plants and animals or the living organisms where the various metabolic activities takes place, where one of the living characteristic feature is reproduction. What is reproduction? All of you know that is the production of new generation or the continuity of the species takes place through reproduction. That is reproduction. The name itself tells us again production of the species that which it belongs to, whether it is plants or animals. Is it clear children? So here reproduction is the continuation of species. It is the continuation of species, or we can also define reproduction as the ability of the living organisms to produce the offsprings of their own species. Is it clear children? So it is for the continuation of this particular species. Reproduction helps for the continuation of the particular species or race. We can also say it's the continuation of the species or race that it belongs to, whether they are plants, animals or human beings. Okay children, so what is reproduction? Reproduction is the ability of living organisms to produce their offspring. Reproduction is the ability of living organisms to produce their offsprings. Or young ones, we can say. The offsprings are also called as young ones. The new generation, the next generation, whatever it is the reproduction. So we say it as the reproduction. It is production of offsprings by the living organisms only. This is the one of the characteristic feature that is performed by the living organisms. Okay children, next. The reproduction, how many types of reproductions are there, we'll see now. So the reproduction, I told you, it takes place in all the living organisms, whether it is plants, animals or human beings. Now in this class you are going to learn about the reproduction in plants. Okay children? So we'll deal with the reproduction in plants. So for this you have to know the definition of reproduction. Now in plants, reproduction is of two types. One is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Reproduction in plants is of sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So you already have studied in your lower classes about asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction in plants takes place by budding, sporulation or vegetative reproduction. You know about the vegetative propagation of new plants vegetatively. So vegetative propagation of the new plants by stems. So vegetative reproduction, that is vegetative propagation of new plants. Vegetative reproduction is the vegetative propagation of the new plants either by stem, root and leaves. Is it clear? So this is the propagation which takes place asexually, and another one is budding, which you are going to learn in this class. Reproduction by budding. And the third one is sporulation. It is sporulation or by spore formation. It is also called as by spore formation. Here, budding is a process of reproduction of new plants by bud formation. How it is, I will tell you reproduction are there and what are they. And next, coming to sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves two features, that is male and female parts. Male and female parts. It involves two parts of the flowers, that is male and female parts. So I'll tell you in detail about each and everything. First, you know what is this tree chart, what is reproduction, you know it. Now you know how the plants reproduce. From the parts of the plant, the flower is the main part of the plant where reproduction takes place, that you know it. Flower develops into new plant. How it takes place, that we'll see in this class. Okay, in 6th class we have already learned about the parts of the plant. Now you'll see about the sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, it involves the sexual features, that is the female part and male part. The fusion that involves the sexual reproduction involves the fusion of male and female parts, which results in the formation of zygote. What it results in? It results in the formation of zygote. Okay children, so the zygote develops into new plant. Zygote develops into new plant in sexual reproduction. So once again I repeat this, children, listen carefully. What is reproduction? How many types of reproduction are there? What are they? Okay, so this is the topic today we'll do. So reproduction means the ability of the living organisms to produce the offsprings of their own species. It is for the continuation of the race. If reproduction does not take place, what happens, children? It leads to the extinction of the species, isn't it? Slowly the species becomes extinct. So it is very much essential for the reproduction to take place of every species in this world. Okay, next. Reproduction is of two types in plants. When we are saying about the plants, we know that the reproduction it takes place in two types. That is, one is sexual reproduction and another one is asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means the reproduction which involves the fusion of male and female gametes, where it results in the formation of zygotes. The zygote in turn develops into the seed. It develops into seed, and seed gives rise to new plant. Seed, and further it gives rise to new plant. Is it clear, children? So this is about the sexual reproduction in plants. We'll study in detail about the sexual reproduction in the next classes. Okay, coming classes. Next, now coming to the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction in plants means which doesn't involve the male and female parts. You may be having confusion that in animals and human beings you can see the male and female differentiation. But how come in the plants? It is the doubt that everyone gets now. So I'll show you how the differentiation can be made in the flowers also, in the flowering plants in itself. How can we make it differentiated? Okay. And next section, asexual reproduction takes place in plants, in non-flowering plants mostly, and also in some of the plants which do not undergo the seed formation. Is it clear, children? So they propagate through the methods called vegetative reproduction or budding or by sporulation. For example, vegetative reproduction through stem, vegetative propagation of new plant by stem. So stem gives rise to the new plant in this case. So what are the examples? New plant ones. Okay. So what are the examples through the stem propagation? Stem. I told you in 6th class also that potato. It gives rise to the new plant through the stem. You can see the eyes of potato when you cut the eyes of potato and plant in the soil, sow it in the soil and give the favorable conditions. It develops into the new plant. So it is propagated through the stem. Onion, bulb of onion, ginger, turmeric. So these are all of the plants which propagate through the stem. Okay children, next coming to the root, you know it, that is root gives rise to the new plant in this case. The examples mainly being carrot, radish, is a beetroot. So these are all the plants which gives rise to new plant through propagation through the root. Okay, so turnip. So these are all the plants which gives rise to the new plant through the propagation through their roots. And next coming to the leaves. These are the plants which gives rise to the new plant through their leaves. So this is the propagation through leaves. This is the vegetative propagation of new plants through leaves. This is the vegetative propagation of new plants through leaves. What are the examples for through leaves? How do they get? So that is a bryophyllum and begonia. What are they, ma'am? Bryophyllum and begonia. So these are the plants which propagate through the leaves. These are the plants which propagate through the leaves. So in detail, I'll tell you about the stem, root, leaves. How do the plants propagate through stem? I told you that is in potato. If you cut the potato and keep it in the soil, it gives rise to the eyes of potato. That is, you can see the tiny white color structures, the bulbs structures over the potato. You cut it along with the stem and keep it in the soil. Put it in the soil and give the favorable conditions like water, everything, minerals in the present in the soil. It gives rise to the new plant. And onion, the bulb of onion, if you put it in the soil and give the favorable conditions, it gives rise to the new plant. Okay, and the ginger also the same thing. Turmeric, they are all the stem parts which go horizontally in the ground, under the ground, so which gives rise to the new plant through stem propagation, and the edible part of that we eat is also the stem. Okay, children. And next coming to the root. Here also the radish, carrot, beetroot, turnip. These are all the root vegetables that we eat and the edible part, and they develop into new plants through their propagation of the roots in itself. Okay, next coming to the leaves, bryophyllum and begonia. If you see the leaves of bryophyllum and begonia, they have the leaf notches. So here they develop small buds. Okay, and when they fall down in the soil and get the favorable conditions like water and all, they develop into the new plants. So this is the bryophyllum leaf. Hope you have seen the bryophyllum leaf in some of the crotons. They grow in your houses and develop them as a crotons. Okay, so it is a very good looking. So this is about the reproduction in plants. Okay, children, thank you. Next class we will see the part